Hello there, my favorite people of the internet. It's me, Desiree. Thanks for clicking on my video. I bought this shirt at Target, and I feel like these sleeves, I can't get used to the rolled up sleeves. Anyway, I wanted to share today the things that EmilyNoel83 made me buy, and whether or not I like them, how I feel about them, all that kind of good stuff. I do have my notes, because I have two other things that she made me buy that I didn't really care for, that I don't have anymore. But yeah, let's just get started with the first thing. Let's start with the things that I liked the most that she made me purchase. So one of the more shocking things, I have mentioned this a couple of times on my channel, is the Lorac Mega Pro 4. I only bought this, I was totally motivated by her. Like, there was no way I was going to purchase this on my own. This is a really great palette. It has two rows of mattes and 2 rows of shimmers. Most of the shades are really, really good. I don't know why people give Anastasia such crap about having, like, powdery shadows, because these are exactly the same. You dip your brush in there and poof. I don't know why people just crapped all over the Subculture palette, but that palette's really good, okay? But anyway, this is like the best palette. I love it so much. I reach for it all the time. It has everything you'll need. It doesn't have as many bright colors as I might want, but it does have kind of everyday stuff. What does everyday even mean? This is my everyday eye today. So anyway, but it has stuff that I think everybody can really appreciate and use easily, because these blend so well. And yeah, this was totally motivated by her, and I totally love it. The other two eyeshadows, not these palettes specifically, but the brand in general, was Viseart. She did a whole video about Viseart and whether or not it was worth the money, and she was kind of just geeking out over it. And of course, it took me months before I bought one, and I impulsively purchased the Sultry Muse Neutral Matte Palette. I love this palette. These are such great mattes, and I don't even like matte shadows, but this was like transformative. I was like, mattes? Those are mattes? They're freaking amazing. These are so awesome. If you're on the fence about getting it, and if you're like me and you find these shades freaking boring, I don't like mattes, I don't like browns, I don't really find that kind of stuff fun for me or really interesting. I'm not the type of person that's going to complain when a palette doesn't have any browns or mattes or transition shades or crease shades. I don't care. I just want some fun in my palette. So this did never appeal to me, and I impulsively purchased it, and I freaking love it. I use one of these shades at least every day. I absolutely enjoy that palette. The other one I bought was the Sultry Muse. This one is all shimmer. Dare I say, some of these can come off definitely metallic. This is one that's taken me a little more to love it, because some of the shades aren't amazing. The white one isn't really that good. It's really kind of chunky, and like it doesn't stick to your eye very well. But most of the shades are really, really good. But if you're going to get one, I would say get the matte one, especially if you think mattes are boring, because that one will change your mind. But yeah, I never would have purchased one of these without her approval, because they're very expensive for what they are. But yeah, she motivated those purchases too. The other ones that were really, really great is from the balm. I never heard anybody else talk about the balm except EmilyNoel83. And she's been talking about them forever and ever and ever. She's been talking about the balm. And so anytime I'd pass the display at Kohl's, well, for one, the display is always destroyed. Every palette has been dug out, has been dropped, broken, covered with exploded shadows. That display is just destroyed. Like, I never want to buy anything from the store. But I did purchase the Hot Mama, I dropped the outer sleeve, the Hot Mama blush, and this is how it looks here. Super cute little packaging. This was one of the ones that didn't look compromised in the store, because none of them are sealed or taped, so you can kind of slide them right out of the package and touch them, which is what everybody does at that store. And then this one is the Balm Beach blush. I absolutely love this blush. And I do have 2 other palettes from them. I have the Balm Jovi palette and the, oh no, I have 3. The Highline Contour palette, the Balm Jovi palette, and the How About Them Apples palette. And I love each of them equally. They're all really great. I haven't been disappointed by the balm yet, and I never would have purchased them without her. Constantly talking about them. A more recent purchase that I made was the Real Techniques brush duo. This was from their Instapop line. This is the Instapop shade brush and the Instapop crease brush. She did a whole get ready with me using all the Real Techniques brushes, and I have never ever watched a video and that same day went out and bought something that person used, except this. Literally, I was watching the video laying in bed, and I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, oh my god, I need those brushes. And he's like, oh, which ones are they? And I was like, Emily is using these brushes. And he's like, let's go get them. So I literally went that day and got them. They're a very interesting cut, and this is why I kind of wanted them. And the way she was using them made me feel like that looks amazing. I don't know if you can tell, but they're cut like with a slant right here. This little one as well. Obviously, I used this one recently. But they're so easy. I'm not the type of person that really does like darker outer V anything because I find it just makes a mess. And I've never really found the right brush to kind of blend it out without getting all right here and just making a mess with it. But this brush like does all the work for me. I get this like slanted side, pat it in the shadow, and then I pat it kind of where I want it to go. And then it's there and it's blended and it's amazing. And this has been like the best little duo because I've never really done outer darker V stuff, and this has really transformed my eyeshadows and just kind of stuff I can do and things I feel comfortable doing. So definitely one of my favorite purchases I've ever made that she's made me buy because these are so good. I wanted to buy another one. And they do make a blush brush that looks just like this, like slanted. I want to get that too. The last thing she made me buy that was awesome was the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I have a bunch of eyebrow products. I keep wanting to do a video on all the best and worst drugstore eyebrow stuff because I have a bunch. But I keep forgetting. I'll write that down on the list. Anyway, this is how it looks. And she always says it's never overloaded with product and it holds like no other. The brush looks like a regular mascara wand. So when I saw this, I was like, I'm not going to like it. But, so most of the time when I'm doing an eyebrow gel, it's one of those brushes that's this little. I've tried a bunch of different brands and they're overloaded with the product. They're all tinted and they all have fibers in them, which I like. This isn't tinted and it has no fibers, but holy moly, it truly comes out with the perfect amount, which is almost nothing. The first few times I used this, it felt like I wasn't even using anything. I was like, is it dried out? Like, did anything even get on my brows? Because I couldn't feel it. But it was combing them into place and they stayed there all day. I have only reached for this since I bought it. And I usually will use the Essence Make Me Brow. L'Oreal has a really good one I like. Maybelline has a great one I like. But those are all sitting in the corner when this one is like shining bright like a diamond. I love it. I love this so much. Definitely worth checking out if you're finding it difficult to find a great eyebrow gel that actually holds in place without too much product. So now I have 3 items that didn't really work for me. Let's put that down there. The first one is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Woo! This was in my worst products of the year video. This is just not for me. It's not a bad powder. It's just not for me. It really sucks all the moisture out of my skin, whether I use it under my eyes, out here, in my laugh lines, if I'm doing baking with it, if I'm doing a light dusting. No matter what I've done with this powder, it just doesn't work. It really makes me look a lot older. It really accentuates all of my fine lines. It makes my skin look so dry and crepey. Definitely not for me. I really don't even know what to do with it because I never reach for it anymore. Yeah, not my favorite thing. Another thing that doesn't work for me is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter. This is something she's recently been talking about a lot. It's just too pink for me. And I don't know if you can, oh yeah, you can see it. She uses this on her waterline and it's just a little too obvious. And not that I'm trying to be subtle. I mean, look at my makeup. I'm not trying to be subtle with my makeup. But it's too obvious of a color in the waterline. Like when she wears it, you can see it like front and center. Some of the comments are even like, are you wearing that Wet n Wild brow highlighter in your waterline? Because for my personal taste, it's too obvious. It doesn't match my, I guess, is it supposed to make your eyes look brighter or whiter? I don't know. And the Rimmel Scandaleyes pencil in the shade Nude, she also recommended. That's also not for me. I think I just like a black or darker shade there because I wear so much color on my eyes that I feel I need that dark inner rim to kind of pull it together a little bit. So yeah, this isn't for me. I've tried it for the brows too and it's just not my favorite. The last thing that also is just not for me is the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. I just don't feel like I need eyeshadow primer like this. The kind of priming I need for my lids is concealing. Because I have a lot of veins. If I don't put the concealer on my eyelids, I feel like I can see the veins through my eyeshadow unless I'm building the crap out of my eyeshadow. But I don't need something that's going to extend the wear. I don't have particularly oily lids, so it's not like my eyeshadow is disappearing throughout the day. The only thing I do notice that this is really good for is the Smashbox Photo Op Eyeshadow Formula. That is a formula she talks about all the time, and I swear she likes it because of this primer. I think if she tried to use it without the primer, it wouldn't be that good. The Photo Op formula is very weird because it doesn't stick to your lids without a primer. It'll just blow away. Like, you'll hit a small breeze will just come blow all your eyeshadow away. It's a strange formula, and I kind of let it sit there for a while, like the palettes I have that have that formula in it. And then I finally used the primer with it. This transformed that formula. It makes the shadows really pop. It makes them really last. It makes them blend better. So I guess this is good for some shadows, but it's not something I use daily. I rarely use this. I really truly only use it with those shadows. But it's something that she talks about all the time, and I definitely had to try it out. And that's it. Those are all the things EmilyNoel83 made me buy and whether or not I liked them. If you have anything that she's made you buy, and I'm sure you have something, please let me know what it is and how it worked for you. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.